So the M4 Rev, this tank I would 100% say is not worth getting. However, many of you probably just have this thing sitting there in your garage collecting dust from years and years ago when this thing was actually relevant, and it's now just kind of useless. So is it worth taking it out for a spin? I mean, stats wise, this tank's okay, but there's nothing too awful about it. It's just the kind of shape of it. It's obviously a very easy target. It's tall, and the gun, although it's great in some areas, it's really bad in others. For example, the reload time for the alpha damage is actually pretty decent, especially when you load it with food and you got vents, you got rammer. It's nice. Point 3 accuracy is okay, but then you go and consider the fact that the shell velocity on this tank is 1460, which means that you should be able to snipe with this thing, you know, really nicely. But point 3 is not nice for sniping at longer distances. Not to mention, this is also APCR as standard, so it's not going to normalize as well as AP rounds would. So then you're kind of scratching your head going, well, what am I meant to do with this tank? Because that is the question when it comes to this tank. You can't really brawl with it because you've not got the armor or really the hit points. I mean, you have 1400, which is slightly more than other medium tanks, but it's still not enough to properly brawl. Especially when you come up against, you know, tier 9s and tier 10s, which this thing can do. So we're going to take it out for a few games. We're going to see how it performs and see if it's even worth playing in 2023. Okay, right. Starting things off, we are on good old Tundra. As you can see, it is a tier 9 game, although it's not that bad, you know. This is fine. Most of the time, if you're playing tier 8 against tier 9s, this is what you kind of want, where it's something like 50-50. Because at least that way, you still get all the hit points from the other people. Okay, interesting. As you can see, it also reverses relatively slow for what it is. I don't actually know how we didn't pen that in the T55, to be honest. But what I want to try and do is go up to here and just see if anyone's going to peek. Because they might try and get a little bit too aggressive. So, let's see. We don't need to play this aggressively by any means. We just need to wait. Wait and see what happens. And then we'll decide what we're going to do. Because there is 0 point of going to the hill or going over here, like where the 7772 is. There's just no reason to. Because you don't have armor, right? You're going to get penned in every single shot. What I might try and do is actually move around a little bit and see if we can get some shots on like the camp plans or something over there. Because there is shots. Not quite fast enough for that. Is he going to do that again? BZ176 is trying to push through. Maybe we can get a side shot on this guy. Put one into him. Nice. Nope, we're not going to be able to pen that. Even with heat, we're not going to be able to pen this reliably. Obviously the BZ having tier 10 armor, which is very balanced. Maybe we can pen this Conqueror if he pushes forwards a bit too much. I don't actually know what we just got spotted by. I'm guessing the Projectile on the hill? Either that or the Barask. What we need to do though is be careful with the Camp Panzer as we cross this. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to move back. I'm going to try and keep these trees in the way between me and the Projectile or Charioteer, whatever spotting. Now we're going to move all the way back to the rear of the map here with the PTK, and then hopefully we can shoot people as they're pushing through. Because you do need to play this tank like a sniper, but it's not at long range. Like, it's so awkward. And we are going to have to fire gold here. Unless we get, you know, like a easy shot on the Conqueror. Really? Thanks. Oh, man. Oh, this guy is in the way all the time. What are you doing? Well, no matter where I go, I'm going to die, so... Extremely fun. I mean, maybe I can kill this Conqueror. No, we low roll. Okay, thank you, game. Very cool. Yeah, this tank is... So it's not accurate. It's not got good pen. And it's not even that fast. Very nice. And we lost. What a massive surprise. We earned 30,000 credits. Good. I mean, I don't even know what you're meant to do on this tank. Like, seriously. Do you just get rid of this and put, like, IAU? I mean, at least then you go down to 0.28 accuracy. Let's try that. Well, we're on Outpost against tier 10s now. Whew. Can't wait to try and pen a mouse. By the way, it's less than a 50-50 if I want to pen the cheeks of the mouse with premium. Nothing wrong with that, right, Wargaming? No, no issues. Just flank it. Just flank it. It's perfectly normal. You know? When everyone else on their team is surrounding the mouse, yeah, just flank the mouse. I don't actually want to go into that position. Like, I was debating going into this bush here, but I don't think that's the best. I think that you should always go into, like, this type of bush here, I think. I can't even really pen this SU-101. He's a very dodgy tank to try and deal with, to be honest. Is there any light tanks? There's an HMTV. Or a Lumtava, as we like to call it around here. I think I might try and go into this bush. We'll see. Okay, I don't get spotted. That's fine. I mean, an amazing plus side of this tank is it does get good gun depression. That's about it. Oh, we have a movement. It misses. I mean, it wasn't completely fully aimed to give it, you know, some slack, but... I mean, so far I'm regretting my decision of going over this side of the map. I'll load heat here, see if I can get a shot on this guy. I mean, I'm also going to need heat for the SU-101. Man, everyone's just out of sight as soon as they get spotted.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
No pen on the UDES 16. And even if I was loaded, I didn't think I'd even get the shot off. What a boring game. Oh look, the piggies are running. Off they go. But what a boring game. Like, there's just nothing I can do in this game. If I try and move forwards anywhere, I die. Like, that is just the story of tier 8s versus tier 10s. Not even just, like, this tank. It's just the problem with +2 matchmaking. There's just nothing the tier 8s can actually do. Well, I mean, I'm just going to go and have to try and do something because this is just... it's just a useless game.
Support my position. Calling in to support you. Enemy armor is damaged. Tracks up.
Man, we only got 40 kilometers an hour. I thought we go at a at 50.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Wow, this really is a very awful tank then, actually.
We didn't even scratch them.
I mean, do you want to come and play? Okay, he lost health. That's fine. I don't know why he didn't just push with me though when I was pushing. Maybe I can get spotting damage? No, I can't even spot them. Okay, wonderful game. Thank you. Well, I spotted him. Honestly, this tank might be one of the worst tier 8s in the game. I'd actually rather play a TVP VTU. I honestly would. And in that game, we earned 86,000. Wow! Okay, well, we have learnt that that does absolutely nothing. Why does it go at 40 kilometers an hour? It's so slow. I have heavy tanks that go faster than that. Right, we're going to put a turbo on this thing. At least I know we've got 45. But this is an awful tank. This is an actual awful tank. People say that the VTU's like one of the worst tanks at tier 8. The Rev might just take the crown for being that much worse. And the VTU goes at 50. What? There is no way. There is no way that the VTU is actually better than this tank. So you wouldn't need a turbo on the VTU either. So you could actually put vents. You could put vents. You get 444 view range. Oh man. It's a better sniper. I mean, it doesn't get the gun depression, but like everything else is just better than it. Like, look at it as we go down. What a useless tank this is. And they were both with exactly the same field mods. What an actual useless tank. Well, we'll try it with turbo and see how it does. Well, here we are. And we are on Malinovka. I don't want to go on a hill. I mean, we already know that we can't really snipe with this tank. That leaves us with a lot of options, doesn't it? Well, I mean, I'm going to try and snipe. I'm just trying to think. Is there a worse tank than this at tier 8? Like, is there a worse tier 8 premium tank than this tank? And I honestly just cannot come up with something at the moment. I mean, obviously there are. Like, there's, you know, bad premiums. Like, the T54 Mod 1 is horribly outdated in today's meta. But it's still better than this thing. Like, I don't... This Batchat's really enjoying himself, by the way. I don't see any other tank at the moment. I mean, we'll go through the tanks and just see. Because I'm sure there are, you know, other tanks that are very close, if not worse than this thing, but... How has this thing not been buffed? Like, how has it not been buffed yet? Because it's only good against tier 6s. At tier 6s and 7s, if you get into a tier 8 game, you got BZ and other tanks. Like, this thing versus a Progetto is a joke. But even medium tanks against itself, like, it's not even in the same class. Like, this is basically a tier 7 tank. I mean, the gun's behaving at the moment. That was a T-32, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. We do need to be careful that we don't get spotted as we shoot this. I don't know where their light tanks are. That is quite worrying. That is very, very annoying. I'm gonna have to dive down here quickly. See if we can get a shot on this. No. I don't think I'm still spotted. What I would like to try and do is try and get out from this. At least then we can snipe. Let's load heat, because we're going to need it for the heavies. Oh, this guy pushed up. I'm glad I got out of there. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to move from there. The only problem now is we cannot spot the heavies as they push down. Well, and now we begin the camp. Very nice. I mean, we are capping, and this guy's been spotted now. I've loaded APCR back for the light tank gets spotted again. We do need our light tank to move. Like, that is what we need. We need eyes, like, over this side of the map. And I am guessing that majority of the tanks have gone back, but we just, you know, can't assume that. Because we do not know. No, majority of tanks haven't gone back. Like, that's still a 50 TP and probably the T-32. We need to just keep going backwards to try and get cover. That shouldn't be a bounce. Nice. Do you have shots on this? Not if there's a shed in the way, Max. How is this a bounce? That shouldn't be a bounce. That's 250 heat. We're spotted by the even 90 behind us. Yeah, I know. Dip down into here, see if we can spot the even 90 as he pushes. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Nice joke. Also, how does he not kill himself when he rams? Do I really weigh that little? What a great tank. What an absolutely fantastic tank this is. Well, I mean, we managed to do 3,000 damage. What did we hit blind? We actually hit the T-32 blind. Interesting. Yes, that was a wonderful game of World of Tanks. And after all of that, we earn 80k. What a horrible tank this is. So no, I strongly recommend avoiding buying this tank if you were ever thinking about buying it. But at the start, we said that it's not worth it. And that just proves it. It is an awful tank that I genuinely cannot see a worse tank. The VTU is better. The VTU. Like, I don't think there's a worse medium tank in the game. Like, the T69 is better, the Pershing's better. Pershing's a much better tank. The Indian Panzer is actually an insanely good tank, as much as people hate on it. I don't know why. The gun is actually just insane. Like, this gun is super, super nice. Like, really nice. Panther 2 can kind of be annoying, but at the same time, again, you get a very, very nice gun. And even then, you still get more pen than the Rev, so it's just better. Centurions, leaps and bounds better. T-34, I mean, that is kind of an awful tank. How bad's the... Yeah, like, this is not great, but still, at least it gets good pen. But, yeah, this is not a great tank, let's say. But still, would I rather play that than a Rev? Probably. I probably would, because at least this can bounce some stuff sometimes. STA1, 100% better than the Rev. Oh, look, we've done all the blueprints for this now. Wonderful. CS53, again, not a great tank, but you can still bounce stuff, so that is better. The UDES, I mean, yeah, the UDES is kind of awful. But it's still manageable. Like, as much as this tank is not good, it's definitely not awful. Like, you get a decent enough gun. You're low profile enough as well to get around the map, so it is better. And the Pantera is just better. Which then leaves, like, the premium meds. And out of all the premium meds, I cannot think of a worse tank. Because why would you spend money on this thing? This tank is, like, in urgent need of a buff. Because at the moment, it's useless. It's actually useless. Because every single medium tank is better than this thing. And if it's not, then it's, like, on par with being, like, the worst of the worst. Like, why you ever would buy this thing over a Liss? I don't know. Because the Liss doesn't have good, like, standard rounds, right? It gets 208 standard pen, but it's still better than the Rev. The T-54 Mod 1 is not a good tank, but it's still better than the Rev. Because you have armor, you can kind of brawl with it. And the 190 pen, because it's AP, you get a little bit of normalization, like better normalization. So it's around about 200 pen if you're using APCR. So it's actually close to the Rev standard pen. So these two tanks basically have very, very similar standard pen. I don't know, man. Even the FE4202 is better than this thing, and I hate this. Well, I mean, you have to let me know in the comments down below, because I cannot think of a worse tank at the moment. That is an impressive tank. So let me know down in the comments. And, I mean, maybe you like the Rev. I don't know why, but maybe you do. Either way, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. And Wargaming, please buff it, because it needs it. See you later.